Chu Sangye Dukarshu. Chodam Soki Chodam La, Jamshu Padu Daki Gyatsuchi, Daki Jumi Dike Sonanki, Rola Chu Sangye Dukarshu. Chodam Soki Chodam La, Jamshu Padu Daki Gyatsuchi, Daki Jumi Dike Sonanki, Rola Chu Sangye Dukarshu.
Good morning, everybody. It's very nice weather. Which is very, very hot. Almost cook. In India, it's sometimes very hot. You can put eggs, no egg. Put inside the sand, they will cook. It's going to be hot. Weather is very dry, sand is very hot, they cook. You know, sometimes India weather is not stable, sometimes very hot, wind water, a lot of homeless people stay under the bridges. And sometimes very cold, many people die. Very, very hot, very, very cold some northern India parts. Therefore, India is very easy to change. But here also, last 2 days, almost cool here, very hot. Anyway, we are discussing about Buddhism. Then fourth we have to know what's Buddha, what's Dharma, what's Sangha. We said Buddha, Dharma, Sangha are our refuge. But we have to something idea. What's Buddha, what's Dharma, what's Sangha? Otherwise, without knowing we do refuge for them, then we don't know who are they. Today that I'm going to Pabongka Rinpoche Sanji Chusoma, Sanji Chusoma,
So you recited that verse for refuge and bodhicitta, right? That's in the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha take refuge into enlightenment and so forth.
And
so in that verse, that includes all the practices of Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha. And whenever you practice Dharma, it is important to have a proper motivation. And so that proper motivation to think, I'm going to do this to benefit oneself and all sentient beings. So whenever you do something with the thought to benefit others, then that action will always be good. And so if you do something with the intention to cause harm to others, then that would be a bad action, right? And so therefore, intention or motivation is very important. For example, if you want to say something bad to others, you have to have the thought preceding that action of saying bad things to others, right? And same with whenever you want to do something good, you have to have a motivation or thought to do that before you do that action, right? For example, if someone wants to steal, then he or she has to have the intention to steal. Without that intention or motivation, will not be able to steal, right? And same with lie. If someone wants to tell a lie, then there has to be a wish or intention, wanting to tell the lie.
Do you guys lie? Maybe this country people are very honest. Maybe they don't lie. It's true.
Saying all.
So there's a saying in Tibetan that the Westerns are very honest, they never tell lies.
It's not true? I don't know. Did they lie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? We always, I was lying many times. When I was a kid, I lied many times. I tried to Pabongka Rinpoche.
Deceived my parents so many times.
Yes. Today, 관심 가서 끊어지다 낸 로고를 이렇게 기침하셔야 되지. 다다 심지 탐정이 된다스. 아니 사제 공부하세요. 토바요. 뒤에다 내 주체에 삼바이나 강한 주체가 됐다. 납치무지 거래서.
So therefore, anyway, it's very important to set up a proper motivation. So when you're listening to the teachings of practicing Dharma, you should always think, I'm going to do this in order to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So if you do any kind of actions with that thought, then that action becomes very powerful.
tenje ba ta tenje kano da kane tene ka ta no tambo di chik tambo ta sun de ba ta.
So anyways, with that thought, we have first recited that the refuge and bodhicitta prayer, right? 3 times.
tenje jab sun do sa ni ta ja yo de ta kan ji ma zo ti xin go re ta ma che xin xin ge ba.
So most of you already know it, but it's important to know what are the objects of refuge that you take refuge in.
아니 다 산제 세대다 뭐 잡던 바 보스. 뭐 말로 다 잡던 바 보라 그래서 내가.
So Buddha, is the founder of the refuge.
아니 추세한테 다 잡무디 이라 그래서.
The Dharma is the actual refuge.
근데 근디세한테 다 잡든 다도서 못 받치게 그래서.
And Sangha is the helper to achieve the refuge.
그래서 다 산제 된도성 가서 다 잡고 그래서. 가서 가래 가발 잡고 그래서. 가니 잡고 그래서 나빠이나스.
And so the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha will protect us. And so what do they protect us from?
근데 남소 지금 식당 잠을 다 잡던 잠을 못 벌어왔어.
So you can protect or give refuge to people or others in many different ways, right?
그냥 남소 등록이 남소 다 잡던 거를 잡고 들어왔어.
For example, the cloth will protect us, right, from the suffering of cold and so forth.
아니 칼날이 남소 줘 또야기 동안 잡고 들어왔어.
And the food gives refuge to us from the suffering of hunger.
아니 다 상계 주기대는 가서 거기 잡고 가고 거기 잡고 있으려 나와이나스.
And so Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, what do they protect us from?
아니 코와던 내송고 등아리 다 잡고 그래서.
And so what do they protect us from? It's from the sufferings of lower realms and psychic existence.
단단 가서 고연을 째야 돼요. 나도 그냥 고연을 이래서.
So right now we're in psychic existence.
Do you think we answer that samsara? Some people say, where's samsara? We always relate to samsara, we don't know where's samsara. Today is a 코아세한테 간제 깨네 마셔 봐라. 근데 도 당장 용서가 돼요. 코아스 와야네도 거기서. 딱고 즉그 하바로 내다로 나가나.
So the samsara or cyclic existence, is that circle, the cycle or of taking birth and death, through the power of karma and delusion, and where you have to suffer all the time during all these times.
근데 다 나도 코아를 맞게 맞게 그래. 산제 나도 코아를 맞게 더 시작을 했어.
And so we have to try not to be born in cycle existence. So that's what Buddha tried to help us to do.
아니 다 내송 동안에 다 가서 내송에서 가와야 간 도마다 같이 배나 둘이 동안으로부터 나면서 또 동시에 들어왔어.
And then the sufferings of the lower realms, the other lower realms, it is difficult to tell what they are, but the animals, you can see, right? We can see that animals have a lot of sufferings.
아니 식당 림바데 야부시라도 다 시민들도 야부시라 책도 왔어.
So generally, these countries are very good. They treat the dogs and and cats very well, right?
얘나야 가시에 해야 되는 동서스와 저도 수수 클라방지 많이 와 있나 깨달아보다 되나 록션이 바트 수준전에 그 바트 내게 와서 빼도 잘했어.
And so, but I've heard some people they say that when the dogs they don't listen to them, they put a collar with the electric shock, and then they press the button and it gives the shock to the dog. I think that's very bad.
It's terrible.
So just like how will you feel, if you were given the shock? So on one hand, they do very well. They treat very good, to the dogs and cats. But then on the other hand, when they do that, that's not good. So anyway, so these dogs and cats or animals, they don't have any freedoms at all. So the wild animals, the animals that are not domestic, outside in the forest and so forth, they are always scared. They're always afraid and thinking that someone will come and attack them. And those the domestic animals like the dogs, the cats or the horses, cows and so forth that are kept by human beings, they don't have any freedom at all, right? It's all whatever the human beings do to them. So those are the sufferings, of the animals that we can see. But there are so many others which we cannot see, and then there are sufferings, of the hungry ghosts in hell, which we cannot see. So we don't want to be born in either of these sufferings, right? The suffering of the psycho-existent and suffering of the lower realms. So how will Buddha help us to be free from these sufferings? So then Buddha says, why we are born in cycle existence is not without any cause and conditions. So we are born here because of cause and conditions. So what are the cause that brought us into the cycle existence? And mainly there are the 10 non-virtuous actions. So if you clear any of these 10 non-virtuous actions, then that's called the non-virtuous actions. And if we clear that, then that becomes a cause to be born in the lower realms. And so Buddha, how he help us is by introducing us into these actions. And so it's like the fount of the refuge, the teacher, who teach us what is the right path, what is the right thing to do, and so forth. So if we engage in any of these 10 non-virtuous actions, then we will not be happy in the short term, and also will not be happy in the long run.
맞지 어떻게 개와서. 근데 되게 개와요. 딱 대화하고 제대로
And so Buddha teaches or explains, what are the 10 non-virtuous actions, and what are the virtuous actions, and the opposite of 10 non-virtuous actions. There are 10 virtuous actions. If we clear those virtuous actions, then they are the cause of happiness, and we'll experience happiness as a result of those virtuous actions.
워낙 산지에 가지 나고 그래서 그걸 염려 가져서나 산지에 세야 돼요. 너무 담보 말아서 나시 강사지 맞지. 그곰 염려 전에 아니 산지에서 작성을 했어.
And so how does Buddha know all these things? So we might question again, right? Well, Buddha was ordinary beings like ourselves. He went through all this suffering just like we did, we were doing, and then through finding the right path, practicing that, then he eventually, was able to free himself from all these sufferings and achieve enlightenment. So enlightenment, which is or Buddhahood. So in Tibetan we say Sangye. Sang means like to clarify, to clear away all the obstacles and all the obscurations or delusions. And then Ge means to achieve or to accomplish. So it means have achieved all the knowledges. So there's nothing that isn't not known by Buddha. So everything is known. So it says like that's why it says fully enlightened. So if he doesn't know himself, then what the path that he showed will be wrong, right? He will be leading us to the wrong path. So whatever he has taught, if we put it into practice, then we will achieve that result, right? So everything that you know now, like how to use the computer, how to drive, car, and so forth, is all taught by somebody, right? Someone like a teacher. And so, if we study whatever is taught, then we will come to understand that, right? We'll know it. And so Buddha has explained clearly everything, what is good, what is bad, which is the right path, which is right and the wrong path, and so forth. So what he has shown, like 10 non-virtuous actions, said it's the bad action, and so should not engage in these actions. So what you should do are the practice of abandoning the 10 non-virtuous actions and engage in the practice of the 3 trainings. To practice morality. Something. And then you have to concentrate, or focus on your mind. Should not let the mind be driven by the delusions. And then you have to develop that wisdom, understanding what is right, what is wrong, the mind that is able to analyze about the good and bad and so forth. So if our mind is focused and well concentrated, then even if we do something bad to others, we'll be able to do it really in a really good bad way, right?
Yeah, we think about it exactly. If we are not really step out in this, then
so we'll not be able to really cause harm if we just if we don't pay attention to even to that bad action causing harm to others. And anyway, so then the Dharma refuge is the actual refuge, the actual the refuge that actually protects us from all these sufferings. So if you don't kill, if you practice not killing, then that will be positive action, and that will be the Dharma practice, and that's the one that will protect you from the sufferings of falling into the lower realms. And actually, of course, that's not the actual Dharma refuge, but it's a similar Dharma refuge. So if we don't become angry, instead we practice patience to others' harm, then we will not experience the suffering of becoming angry. Do you suffer if you become angry? Of course, it's not easy to get rid of the anger because we're so much kind of used to it, accustomed with it since beginner's lifetime. So Buddha advised us not to get angry. So if we don't get angry, then we are protected from the suffering of becoming angry.
This is the example.
So the actual Dharma, is called the true path and the true cessation. And so the true path, is the direct realization of emptiness, or the mind that knows the reality, or what is wrong, what is right, and so forth. And so right now we don't know the reality, right, and the actual mode of existence of the phenomena. So most of the time we think we're right, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm saying is a right, and when we do that thought, then we don't become successful. And so by practicing that mind or developing that mind, which knows the actual mode of existence, so the emptiness directly, then with that mind we can overcome all these delusions. And so once you have overcome the delusion, or you seize the delusion, so that's what's called the cessation of seizing the delusions, and then you find that true cessation. And so these two are the actual dharmas. And then so the dharma, and then the sangha jewel. So sangha is someone who has the realization of these two paths, the true cessation and true path. So whoever possesses that is called sangha, the actual sangha. So someone with that kind of realization can help us in the most best way to practice the dharma, but also other people like our fellow classmates or dharma friends who study with us. They can help us in some way. So that can be a similar sanghas, not the actual sangha, but a similar sanghas. So the sanghas in the group where we study or practice together can help us a lot, because when we do practice in a group, it becomes much more powerful than doing the practice by ourselves alone.
아니 근데 루념도 지내 지금 루치는 내가 싸워도 다 죽게 주지도 말아보라.
So if we study or chant even a prayer together in a group, then that becomes more powerful. So that help, creating more powerful virtues, is through the help of all the people that are involved, in that practice. So it's because of that we're receiving the help. So therefore, there are the similar sanghas.
근데 다 나도 말아서도 주지 잘내 지 가요 여기 주자와 있나? 근데 산지 고조해야 돼. 아니 주 말람게 되지. 그거 강화소 저기 냠내 말수 남중이 이제 저기 냠내지라. 내가 다 주거죠. 진짜 말로지. 대 로바진의 루지는 가지고 딱 그룹치는 지금 서다. 내가 딱 주거지. 진짜 말로 납축을 와서.
And so the Buddha, is the teacher, who teaches us the Dharma, and then the Dharma, is the practice that we do, like the practice of abandonment, and virtuous actions, and so forth, which are not actually Dharma, but similar Dharma. And then, Sangha can be the people around ourselves, who are supporting or helping us, to do our practices.
봐. 배는 먼저 나사 나와 있나? 명가로 와나? 멤버 매치 너스 쓴 거도.
So, for example, if we are sick or ill, severely ill, then we need help of all these three things, right? Like the doctor, the nurse, and medicine.
근데 찍마다 나도 나다를 좋다고 말아.
So if any of these are missing, any one of these are missing, then we will not be free, not be able to be free from that severe illness.
나 doctor가 나도 나다를 무슨 거예요? 와서.
So doctor identifies or diagnoses the disease.
근데 이제 산지에서 다 산지 그룹 빼지 말고 그래서 와.
So that's like the Buddha, it's like the doctor who finds out the disease.
근데 매세디가 매도 사월할 때는 나다를 장으로 와.
And so the medicine, by taking the medicine, by actually taking the medicine, then you can be cured from the diseases, right?
매배 강 쬐야기 매도 사디 가서다 내가 장으로 와.
So whatever the doctor prescribes, and whatever medicine the doctor prescribes, by taking that, then we can be free from this disease, right?
어디 산지가 강화소의 주 대냐면체나 아니 나도 그거 누가 줘도 그래서.
So whatever dharma that Buddha has taught, if we practice that, then we can be free from suffering of sad existence.
이나 되니 매대 사와라 매대가 야 나서 그거 봐.
And then also, in order to take that medicine, you need somebody to help you because you are severely ill and you can't take it yourself. So you need a nurse to help you with that, right?
뒤서로 기득해 주셔야 돼요, 와.
And so that's the sangha. The sangha jewel is like that.
들었다 빼대도 수발해서 와.
It's similar to that example.
나도 내 발에서 저도 나도 했어.
So we are sick people. Are we sick?
이제 너 알레르기 할 때. 나도 내가 내 세대 너무 많아. 딱 너무 나는 막 투대에 와다니 너무 내 발에서 그러고.
And so we are sick because we are infected by this disease called delusions.
가정가도 공부를 맞춰줘. 저도 사쳐줘. 와서.
So it's because we're always ready to give rise to these delusions all the time, right? We're very ready to get angry, very ready to be jealous and so forth.
이제 영어된 게 지는 소수세만 맞춰 보는 거, 소수 도는 거.
And so whenever these delusions arise or manifest, then we become unhappy, we suffer, right?
Therefore, we call we are sick person. that sanjay chute me me.
So the Buddha's Dharma, the Buddha's teaching is the medicine.
Therefore, we have to take more medicine if you want to another trouble, na.
If you want to be recovered from this disease.
Or today, that kanji sanjay chute ke jo no to jota to say mare
And so anyway, this is how we are protected by the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
So what is it? What that jump ko ko de ji ba no sanjay chute la la that jump de
There's something about the refuge, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So just the verse that we recited at the beginning, take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha till I'm enlightened.
What is it? 상관도 대해 들으시는데 상관도 사실은 말하고 있어.
So now we go into our actual topic of this teaching.
아니 산지에 내가 막 좁다는 간이 있다 같이 손서 말아 아니 이게 다 아니 얘들가 나도 휴저 말하면 아마 남과도 뛰어내 딱 잡고 요송을 해.
And so how Buddha is going to help us or protect us from suffering, then Buddha said, I'm going to protect them or help them to be free from suffering by showing them the right path, what is to be abandoned, what is to be cultivated, and so forth.
산지에서 쫀 근세 연대 끝나는 거지 말이야.
So Buddha is a fully enlightened being, who is free from all the faults and who possesses all the knowledges.
아니 너와 관계 없어요 말이야.
And was not inflicted by any kind of harms.
아니 네가 산지 샤슈 내가야 아니 산지랑 무관이지야 산지 사람을 두두만 말했어.
So when during the time when Buddha was in this world, at that time somebody who didn't like Buddha, tried to give him a poison.
And he invited to Buddha to enlarge his house. He put the poison in the old house. Then Buddha come and going to eat. He thinking that Buddha died. then 코로나 사람들다 사진 이렇게 시험도 같이 사진 시험이 있고 전화했어.
So he thought that if Buddha knows everything, then he should know that there's a poison and he should not be eating that food. But he ate it, so he thought, oh, Buddha doesn't know everything. So he ate the poisoned food, now he's going to die.
이나 그다 사지에 시다고 했나 사지 팅근이 신제람네 두강 나와서 나왔어.
So he was waiting for Buddha to die, but actually Buddha has already blessed the food and eradicated all the poison from the food.
그때다 같이 다 내가 관계 적용 말이라고 사지.
So Buddha cannot be inflicted by any kind of harms.
그냥 나도 다 내가 가는 것도 저도 가는 몸을 저도 왔어.
So in our case, we are inflicted by any kind of harms, and we are harmed by any kind of diseases and so forth.
나도라 미치게 특출이라면 나도 여기도 왔어. 내가 지도도 와.
So we can be harmed very easily, even by saying some small bad words to us.
Even just honk. Just honk with us too. 나도 다 누구냐 지도도 와.
We can be harmed.
Can you harm?
Yeah.
People are getting right?
Yeah.
People always say, you do this. Even you go to India, you have to be patient. They always. Also on the front you rode bicycle, motorcycle, car, cows, horses, people walk, and they always this. 나도 주다서나 나도 들리진 나도 내가 기도해서 와 치고라 먹었지.
So even that small thing, like honking, can cause us harm.
나도 몇살 딱 치고 스치고 도면 나도 정해라 왔어.
So usually we think we are human beings, we're very powerful, nothing can harm us.
나도 마스크를 가도 너 기도해. 마스크 붙이지 되고.
But even small insect like mosquito can cause harm to us.
Right? 나도 또 치고 너도 왔어.
So actually we are very vulnerable, right? So thinking that we are very strong and powerful is mistaken, right?
미세한테 꽃을 탑신경을 sor아요.
But human beings are very intelligent, therefore they have means to come over with this kind of harms, right?
샘제 제조 랑보셔다 랑보셔 나도 칸이 와서 소소해요.
The animal, like the elephant, is the largest animal. Even that large animal can be controlled by human beings.
그래서 남도 미게 탑시장에 다 샘제간가 소소한테 도와주고 왔어.
So human beings can use their means and methods, and that way, bring all the beings, all other beings like animals, under their control.
Right? Usually also, especially this country, the people very intelligent. They kind of
They train the dogs very well. Right?
I think this country, the dogs doesn't beat much. Maybe some. In Tibetan, normally here, the dogs bite. We don't know how to train them.
How to train?
How to train them, Also, they all protect us. We don't have police to protect us. At night time they can protect us. Cows, house, the thieves. Also, wolves. Wolves come to the night time. They want to kill the animals, small animals. Then the dogs protect them. But also, I think them. I don't know in India that in my area, Tibetan nomad area, the dogs are very, very big also. They bite. We don't know how you train not bite.
You don't want to train them.
Also we don't want to. Yeah, also we don't want it. We want to bite them. Because they have to protect house, everything.
They're useless. The dog will be useless if it doesn't bite.
Oh yeah. The dog doesn't bite, it's no useless. Yeah, we keep the dogs to protect for our family. I don't know, here they keep the dogs, the patient or maybe, I don't know why. No. Usually in India, in Tibetan, in the monastery, there are a lot of strict dogs. Lot of strict dogs, no owners. But anyway, in normal Tibetan people, they keep the dogs for the protector. Today, can't you make a taviching and do some chikanga? On the what?
Anyway, so human beings, through their methods and means, they can control all these beings. And so if we don't use the means and methods, then we will not even, go against the small insect like ants.
Right? Ants come in, we have to block their place. If he doesn't know how to block, then they all come, all the time they're coming. They will be checking how we block, how we control them. But even we
So in order to get rid of the mice and the rodents, you have to apply many different kind of means, and otherwise you will not be able to get rid of them, right?
They come everywhere. 어떻게든 당나서 메시아에 딱 레바 짱보다 어저빠 담보하고 싫어가지고 가려면 너무 신경 그랬어.
So anyway, human beings are very intelligent and very smart, can learn anything that's taught to them.
어떻게든 당나서 소소라 동안 누가 딱 소를 동이 쓰지요 말 때마다 왔다 딱 누가다가 답이 자야게 답이 당도 장고를 했어.
So anyway, we have to, in a similar way, we have to find or practice to learn to gain the method, means to be free from these sufferings. It's just that we didn't study or practice, otherwise there isn't anything that cannot be learned if we practice. Is there any example that you can give which cannot be learned if you practice or study?
If you're lazy, you cannot learn others. No.
So you can even fly up in the sky or dive down into the earth and so forth, right? Everything you can do. So anyway, so there isn't anything if you study or practice that you will not know. And so therefore, you should practice or study to not let your mind follow the delusions. And also, once you study and practice, keep on present again and again, then it becomes easier and easier. So the Shanti Deva said there isn't anything that becomes there isn't anything that doesn't become easier through familiarization. And so if you use your logic to find it out, then it really works in the same way with the Buddha's teachings.
배 차샤와이나 먼저 도 추여서 라베나 대당면에서 말하고 도 추여야 말하고
So, for example, if someone says if you cook a stone can be cooked. Is that true? If you cook a stone, you can have the stone cooked. And peel it and eat it. No? That's not true, right? That's not possible. Can it become more soft if you cook it? The stone? No? It hardens more?
Is it clay?
Huh? Turn into lava? So anyway, if someone says that if you cook a stone, it can be cooked. That's not true, right? That's not true to the reality. So if someone says that, then that's against the logic. It doesn't make sense. It's against the logic, so that's not true. But Buddha's teaching is not like that. So when Buddha explaining teachings, and he tells you to do this, and then you can get this, then it makes sense. So it works with the logic. So the delusions cause suffering. So if you get rid of the delusions, you'll be free from suffering. So that's logical. And Buddha has taught many different teachings. All these teachings which Tibetan we have translated teachings of the Buddha, which has 108 volumes of scriptures. So all these teachings are means to overcome the delusions. So we're saying that whatever Buddha has taught makes sense and it has the logical support to prove that. But again, still Buddha says, this is what I'm saying, but it's up to you to check whether it's true or not. So now we'll start from where we stopped last time. And then the second one, which is developing respect for him or her by remembering his or her kindness. So it's in page 252, if you have the group. Now I can check for topic or outline 92. Outline number 92.
245. I'm very confused. 아니 신이 된다 따와 대화 좀 같이 지도전에 기바시 와트니 따와 대화 좀 어떤 거 보자.
So the first one is the root, remember developing faith in the Guru. That's the first one, and the second one is remember his kindness, his or her kindness. So the first one we've gone through already, and now this is the second one.
아니 다 그걸 하다 소소 간제 개들하고 수정하고 되게 또 대화해서 보나만 내가 거요.
And so the teacher who is teaching us the Dharma, whether it's a he or she, we should have a devotion or faith in him or her.
간제 어떻게 가지고 가르치 모시라 그래서
So those teachers who give us all these teachings and are very kind to us.
대라다 사실 시요 신도스 계산해서 이제 손제도 사실이야. 아마 산제를 마비까지 추소비까지 시지시지를 사는 거들이 가지나 시있어.
And so Buddha, the Guru has been very kind to us in many different ways. That you can think of his or her kindness. So there are 4 categories. And so the first one is the Guru is much kinder than the Buddha. And his kindness in teaching the Dharma, his kindness in blessing your mind stream, and his kindness in attracting you into his circle through material gifts and so forth.
다들 되는 마음으로 다시 이 마음으로 실로시다.
So let's read that, to the second, to the outline 95. Right? So, okay. Developing respect for him by remembering his kindness. According to Kyasam Jamin and his disciples, this has 4 headings. The Guru is much kinder than the Buddhas. His kindness in teaching Dharma, his kindness in blessing your mind stream, and his kindness in attracting you into his circle of utilities. The Guru is much kinder than all the Buddhas. This has 2 parts. He is much kinder than all the Buddhas in general. The Guru in terms of good qualities is equal of the Buddhas. His kindness, however, is generally greater than that of all the Buddhas. Infinite number of Buddhas have died in countless entities for immeasurable eons in the past, but we were not among them. I petition to the Guru, Buddha says, I petition to you, compassionate refuge and protector. You accurately teach the Siddhartha's noble path to the difficult to tame beings of these Tibetan times, who were unfit to tame by countless past Buddhas. In other words, 75,000 Buddhas, another 76,000 Buddhas, and another 77,000, and so on, came into the world solely to the altars of Buddha, to teach the Buddha of the conditions. Moreover, in this eon alone, the Buddhas, Kalapuchanda, Kanakumani, Kashyapa, and so on, have guided boundless numbers of disciples, but they could not subdue us. The Guru is teaching us the complete and unmistaken path now. Even the previous manifestations of the Buddhas could not do better. Thus, although the Guru and the Buddhas are equal in terms of good qualities, the Guru is their superior in terms of kindness. Geshe once said that the Guru is like someone who gives a dying person food during famine. Others are like those who give less of need in the times of plenty. Suppose we had escaped to poverty, and having become rich, someone gave us food and property. We vision of many Buddhas, receiving inspiration from them, and so on, when we have already achieved the higher path. But this is no help to us when we are at present in such a piteous state. The Guru, like someone giving us food when we are poor, reveals himself to us and has the instinct to guide us when we are about to fall over the great precipice into the lower realms, so that we don't have the flaws of achieved Buddhahood. This is the Guru's kindness. Kurukulla Rinpoche said, Supreme Unrivaled Guru, who is kinder than all the Buddhas. That is, who they had faith in other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, but we have not met them. Now that we are deriving Dharma, the Guru teaches us Dharma, so he is more compassionate.
Okay.
So the Guru is kinder than the Buddhas. So we have to think why it is, right? Why is why is Guru more kinder than the Buddhas? So this has the two, right? The first one is all the general Buddhas. And so in terms of the quality, he may have equal quality as the Buddhas, but in terms of the kindness, he is more kinder than the Buddhas. So this is the teachings taught aiming to the audience who are already Buddhist. And so why is Buddha, why is Guru more kinder than the Buddha? And it says that many Buddhas have come already in the past. But we have not been able to meet none of them. And so we have not been fortunate to be tamed by them. And so, so this is, we become the person of these two lines, this description here. To the difficult to tame beings of these degenerate times, we were unfit for taming by countless past Buddhas.
라서 다 몸보셔 많이 말해. 아니 사실 좀 전에 내가 야 아니 고아지 세트 외수 상에 선 패턴을 말했어.
So, as an object of accumulation, as object to accumulate merit, the many Buddhas came in this world, like 75,000, 76,000, 77,000, and so forth. But we have not been fortunate enough to meet with any of these Buddhas. And even among these the 1,000 Buddhas of these fortunate eons, the past 3 Buddhas who haven't been able to meet, and so it is the Guru that we have met and received the teachings from. And so the teacher, anyways, the teacher in our school who give us all this education knowledge is very kind to us, right? So because they taught us all these things, right, one by one, they taught us everything, and that's how we become educated now. And so Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the past, who has come and taught, and then has written all these books, but they are not there to explain to us these teachings, right?
Do you guys meet the Buddha, Bodhisattvas? You don't remember?
Do you what?
Do you guys meet Buddha or Bodhisattvas?
Yeah.
Some people say, yeah, that's not Buddha, I talk with Buddha. Yinaya. And Tanda Gigi, that's what my love thing eating. And that's how you can't saw them on the Shijoma, love good, they don't get race, and they talk race.
And so these teachings of the Buddha that are available, which we cannot understand by ourselves, now the Guru explain these teachings to us, so therefore the Gurus are very kind to us.
And the Sanjay Tamaship Matumi, Marum the key, Indian was that day you must, and they know what they tell it out to Tomar, send the Samyama, Chayama, and go there and take up the river.
And so we are the beings who are difficult to be tamed, and then we're also in a degenerate time. And so we have so many things going on that is so difficult. So many things going on, there's too many things to think about, too many things to do, the worldly things, and that it makes us difficult to make a time to practice Dharma.
Do you think that is the degenerate
Time.
Degenerating.
Degenerating.
Yep.
Yeah, more problems, more
Yeah.
coming, right?
Absolutely.
And Namayana, but a Tison, Ravana, that is usually Dominica, she got me also like that, Niba. Kanga party, Jacob, Chichi, shedding, was.
So nowadays they have created these nuclear weapons, right, which is very small in size, but can destroy the whole world or half the world. And so now the countries are afraid of each other because of these weapons.
And it's been a million sheen to get cousin so but he took me a number share. Listen to my words.
So more facilities we have, the external facilities we have, that much more anxious we become, right?
You think? I think in here, the United States compared to in India, maybe this United States people have maybe 100 times better than it was.
The external facilities, and you have 100 times better than the people in India.
No, not all the Indians, most,
Right.
Miss Karo, just Karo, Namda de Payadina, Pashi Namsa Chegdus. I got a low Pashi.
But in terms of the stress and the anxieties, I think there's a difference. It's like earth and space.
such a thing do it because a big number of shoe doors some much.
But people have more anxiety, more stress here in this country.
Yeah, I told you religious that how many people went to India? Few, two. Yeah. You went there north. If you went to train stations, bus stations, all family, father, mother, 4 or 5 kids, they have no space to stay. They go trains. Trains go to the west, they go to the west. Trains come back to east, they come east. They stay there, they eat, they back. They're there. But there is not many number of ones though.
No anxiety, no stress.
Also, you can see the bus station, train station, they sleep. They don't care to go to over there, they just sit there and hard, But they're not very, do us.
So they don't have much stress.
Then there are, you have to choose New York. If you go to New York subway, oh my goodness. Everybody, they're not talking each other, they just very Maybe if they practice to come about it, maybe they because they're tired, they have to go walk, they're tired, then that could simple kind of over.
So their mind is not relaxed.
They just to walk and come back, then you cannot touch there, they have to if you touch them, they get angry, Very easy, look now, marches. In marches, we take the fire, right? This is, I think, she thinking about the
So anyway, that shows that the external facility doesn't really give happiness to the beings.
Even in India, I'm not saying this country people bad, this is their culture, there's some, everybody there good of selves. I'm not saying here very bad.
I'm not saying it's good or bad, it's just my opinion. That's how things are here.
And here we don't see the neighbors. We don't know they're going or coming on, we don't see each other. In India, the Tibetan, the neighbors also very friendly. Sometimes they fight, but they're friendly, they talk, they go each other's house, they all come outside. Also, they don't have job, when they're bored, they come outside. They have some tea, they have some snacks, they talk, all day. But their mind's very calm. And here, everybody has a job, everybody run, and they're very stressed.
It's true.
Today, 되게 갈 데 없나 간지 신 되게 나는 내 어째 더 어디가 쓰고 되는 거지.
So that shows clearly that the external facilities cannot give internal happiness.
Okay, but why I have to tell this? I don't remember why I have to tell this. 근데 이제 다 단단 기득이 신조 말로 발라도 땡이 기계 되기 딱 저런 들리강에도 같이 내려서 저런 거 세마다 말이다. 뜻도 맞지 그러면서 말라도 저기로 왔어.
So the teacher teaches us the path or the means to subdue our mind. All these problems that we're facing is because of not having tamed or subdued our mind, and he or she give us the means, the way to subdue it.
주도 나라야 지금 내 차세야, 공로세야, 차다세야, 맞아세야, 등도 두자 이봐. 캠핑 되는 거 두자 운동들이 여기서.
So are there anybody among you here who did not think that attachment, jealousy, anger and pride were bad?
근데 주도 등도 샘날 아주 쉬우대 정도에 지금 깨는 전에 고동이 되었죠. 아무 샘 카바시에 열어요.
So these delusions, are they in the nature of mind, or they're temporary? They're coming or manifesting by depending on conditions. Can they be separated from our mind?
나도 들어가나 잡아 그래. 잡아대 들어가 자야 와.
for example, if we have a stain or dirt on our clothes, we can remove that stain or dirt from our clothes, right?
You guys, we don't see you guys have dirt. Some other country you can see. Today is that today same thing. I'm saying that I show you my
And so anyway, so these delusions are not in the nature of our mind.
same thing. Show me why you just could get the tenor going to change.
So because it's not in the nature of the mind, therefore, whenever it meets with the condition, it will manifest.
Today by that, not to much of it. They never channel to send it.
And so therefore, we can be removed. And if we remove them, then our mind will be more relaxed and happy.
공로도 차도 동에도 만지고 가는 것도 일례로 되어
When the disillusions like anger or jealousy are not manifesting, our minds are much more happy, right? Relaxed.
공동에 지는 것도 more nervous.
So when they manifest, then we become more nervous.
근데 인자 두종에데 그때는 아주 생을 아주 쉬운 거야. 공동 가치예요. 가치와 있는 것도 생각죠. 이거 요한도 돼. 내가 된 신기도 와.
And so by seeing that, we can understand that these are not in the nature of the mind. They can be separated, and if we separate them from our mind, we'll be happy.
아니 나도 샤바세 니지에서 펜셈 사는 게 있잖아. 아니 소소한 지 생각죠. 로바서 야보 용도 왔어.
And then on the other hand, if we generate the positive minds, like love, compassion, and so forth, then we ourselves will be happy, and others around us will be happy also.
또 생기 제출 연대에도 공부를 연습해요.
Those are the good quality of the mind, and they should be increased more and more.
나도 공을 배워도 나도 배다 담보줘도 이게 지식이다 야고. 근데 우리 지식이 내려고 라라도 대르치 받고 야야
So your knowledge can increase, right? So when you first you don't even know how to write, but as you write more and more, your knowledge increases, and then you're able to write even without looking at it and so forth.
근데 이마다 산지 자기 들어간 거 알아야 되나. 된소 산지 사는 것도 다 되냐 그거 좀 말해서 다 단다 소리를 마셔야 되니. 아니 이게 다 된소 라고 왔다 같이 말해서.
And so these teachings were given by the Buddhas in the past many times, right? But we never learned this. No matter how many times the Buddha has taught, no matter how many Buddhas has taught this. So right now we're learning it through our teachers. So therefore, our teacher is more kind. And it's kinder than all the Buddhas of the past.
어려웠다. 다 산지 너무 고가지 세대고 무슨 말이지. 다달라마 산지 이 현장 됐다. 다 산지에 될 배워야 될 다는 이제 말해서 와. 그리고 나도 쉬지 말고 왔다. 텔레나 계세요.
So even if Buddha were to show up, there won't be more than what the Guru is teaching right now.
아니 현대인 건데 사지다 냠바냐 까르는 건데 다 기계들끼리 제발해서 대다 각 기술 제고를
And so in terms of the knowledge, even though they are equal, but in terms of the kindness, the Guru is kinder, therefore should have more respect towards Guru.
게레야 돼 나도 다시 니 보드를 송했어. 가지 나도 클라스에 메이카라 또 때문에 제발해서.
And so just like Geshe Ngawang said, Guru is like someone who gives us a food at a time when we don't have any food.
아니 사지 주만 나도 똑바로 전에 나도 사지를 전해서 뭐가 제 도요. 그래서 나도 지금 또 땅도 강에 매일까지 또 때문에 제발해서.
And then through the practice of the Dharma, when we reach higher level, then we'll be able to see all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas at that time. And then during that time when we receive the teaching that we receive at that time will be like receiving a food at the time when we have plenty of food to eat for ourselves.
그래서 먼저 강에 제비가 로바칭이다. 강에 매비가 로바칭이 주로 숟가락이 차도.
So who do you think is kinder? The person who helps you at the time when you're in trouble, or the person who helps you at the time when you're not in trouble?
야, 간지 가서 또 사회 매비가 칼라잖아. 칼라지 가서 펜시고 터고요.
So it is, anyway, the food becomes more more beneficial if it's given at a time when you're very hungry, when you don't have food, right?
진짜 인반자 그래. 근데 다 계기들 같이 무시를 해서 와.
And therefore, the kind, the gurus are very kind.
내가 라마되게 단단하고 고하다면서 동아리 미시바 말고 많은 데가 갈라. 아니 뒤에 내가 집 게리는 쉬지 말고 때는 로바네 로고 많이 말해 두 중에 대다 같이 보시라 그래서
And so right now at this time, when we have completely ignored, to all these teachings, Dharma, at that time the Guru teaches us all these teachings, gives us all these teachings, shows us the path, right path, and then saves us from going into the wrong path and so forth. So therefore, Guru is very kind to us.
아니 단단한도 다와도 덤려제가 산지코도 투제 요아 토야요 제 레바자야 디스까지 개념이니까 그래서 개념도 말랍샤가도 너무 쉬워요. 그래서
And so because Guru has taught us this path through which we can practice and through which it becomes possible for us to achieve enlightenment, and therefore Guru is very kind.
아니 개점치기야. 근데 저와 끊어놓고 투제죠. 다음에 남아. 요 바데 사선들이 미치고 아니 다 상지에서 공원으로 미치고 봐. 아니 다와도 투제는 단돈 내가 남이 그런 거. 다음에 남아처럼 쏘반데서
And so, and also Kurukulla Rinpoche said, and a guru who is kinder than all the victors.
아니 맞아 산제 샤선 서다제 취지 포기 뒤인다 다만도 단다 추고 포고가 리딩을 하고 시점 말고 시와데 포디를 가라 취쟁에 대한 말이죠. 딱 그렇지 못하래.
And it says also that is why we may have faith in other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, but we have not met them. Now that we are deprived of Dharma, the Guru teaches us the same Dharma, so he is more compassionate.
가지 나도 내지로로 세워라 때니 소지 강에서 해야 되지. 자야요. 강에서도 쌤이 강한 자리와 나도 지식도 와.
So through studying these teachings that's taught by the Guru, then we can come to understand that we can be free from all this suffering, we can be separated from these delusions and so forth, right?
아, 근데 지금 라면은 너무 신경 많이 왔어.
So if someone has not taught us, not taught us, then we will not come to know that.
딱 모두 신경도 다 제일 먼저 수술 나빠요.
So we know it, but whether practicing it or not, it's all in our hand.
Okay, we all same, not just you. We all same. We know. Oh, this is bad, that. Usually we don't follow. When Suzuka let them know, they can change the rules. 남중한도 지금 공tro도 하고 있어요. 공부하려고 해서. 소속강의로 편하다 이건 공청회 이용하러.
And so usually, it's easy for us to say that the anger and delusions are not good, but when we fall in the condition, then we become angry and we follow the delusions very easily.
대일이 follow 저를 깨뜨려서 먹고 말았어.
We don't need a big reason, to follow that. And even a small reason, a small condition can cause us to follow these delusions.
늘 롱몽보 반인데 뭐라도 세계니 말하지 이쪽 맞아 가서 듣고 나도.
And so if the light turns green, and then the person in front of you doesn't move even for 2 seconds, then you get angry already.
내가 소수 내가 너지 마지막 가라 나도 그걸 아주 곤로셔도.
So when that happens, it's very easy, easy for the delusions to arise, right?
Okay, look at that. Now the question answers, okay? Who has question?
Next question.
Yeah, can you write down?
Yep. Okay, first question. What is the reason that one bowl of water can be seen in different ways by human beings, hungry ghosts, and gods?
It's a result of karma and the quality of the mind stream of the different beings, so they see things differently based on their mind stream.
Yeah. Then who? Do you have any other answers? Yeah, her answers are right. 100% right.
So now we're looking for the 80% right question. So it's said in the teaching also, right? That it depends on the karma of the individual beings and how they created the karma, and because of their karma, and they see in a different ways.
수술 다 거나다 섬님을 좀 쉬어야 말이죠.
Yeah, so the karma, is very, it's inconceivable, it's very, very vast and very difficult to understand exactly.
아니 수술은 대야분토하게 내면은 가는 데는 또 야분토는 없어.
So if we don't have a karma to see it as good, then no matter what things, what kind of thing it is in there in front of us, we will not see it good.
아니 냠내가 토마토를 다 내지리사 돼 버려서.
So the initial stage of the practice is the karma, karmic law cause and effect.
아니 내지리 벌써는 못하는 아주 감이 못 보이는 거지 그래서.
So if we are able to think about the karma and the results, then we'll be able to endure many of the problems.
그리고 당에 내나가 게 레서트지 온 게 있었어. 최도스.
So same as what you said, I also answered in my question, saying that it depends on individual's karma, individuals who have created the karma.
Okay, good. Good job. Okay, second question.
What are some examples of you cannot be sure of appearances?
Okay.
Can you give an example?
An example?
I have example.
간지 소설은 하나 대인 거를 했어.
What is?
Yeah. Okay.
Another example. A Sangha saw Maitreya as a dog with worms until he went to take out the worms with his mouth, and then his karma changed, and because of that action, he was then able to see Maitreya.
That's right.
Yeah. That's good. You guys very good. 간지 소설 나한테 나는 이거 나는 이거 말씀으로.
Yeah, so there's no certainty of your appearance, right? Of the appearance of what appeared to you.
그냥 먼저 밑에서 했다는 거 없어. 밑에서 했다는 거. 밑에서 또. 거기 나도 나머지 지금. 그래서 나도 그래나. 나도 말아왔어.
So like a magician, who turns a piece of stone or wood into an elephant or horse, right? And then to us, it appears like an elephant, like a horse, but is it really horse? No?
어떻게 이자? 수는 나도 이거 말았어.
So therefore, it doesn't have to be if it appears as that, right? It doesn't have to be a horse if it appears as horse.
다 네가 나도 냠내 네가 나도 냠내 가야 해.
So what can we extract from this message?
나 내가 얘기해. 나도 가야 냠내 내.
So what can we? It doesn't matter whether it, whether there's a certainty to the appearance or not. What does it matter to us?
나도 내가 냠내지려고 그랬어.
So what practice can we take from there?
Discrimination.
Huh?
Discrimination.
Discrimination?
Correct.
뒤에 볼 때도 잘했어야 돼.
간지 단 네가 가려고 해서 나 만주 수술을 못 갔을 때 수술 못 줬던 거예요. 왔어.
So what are these examples trying to prove?
That we should practice compassion, kindness, patience, these sort of virtuous actions with all beings, because they could be a Buddha or a Bodhisattva.
내가 좋아졌어.
Yes, that's right.
내 나는 상태를 했어. 내 상태잖아. 만주 수술 못 갔을 때 만주 밑에 두 줬던 거예요. 왔어.
So because depending on how the things or how the people appear to us, we kind of project our thought towards them, right? Like someone we don't like, and the person appears as bad to us.
He said, who doesn't we love? He said, this bad, very bad person, right? He would say, yeah.
Thank you. I think you raised a very important crossing between the mind and the heart, and I
I happened as a child to be in the war, and I'm forever grateful to my parents to never have told me that Muslims are bad by the nature of the war, or Jewish, or anyone. So the discrimination and the compassion feels to me that it will be 2 wings of a bird, and that the blessing of the Buddhist training of the mind bring forth the ability to become innocent in a way, and yet you become innocent, and at the same time, how do you follow your gut? When you see, I have been the witness of rape, I've been the witness of many things in the war. A war has no law. So the principle of that energy of innocence is crucial. Of the principle of healing, like earlier you talked about electroshocks or shocks to the dog or to the animal. You and I know, and this crowd here knows very well, that every day there are people who receive electroshock in psychiatric ward. And so the maintenance of innocence to the Buddhist practice of compassion, but I cannot see it without discernment of how you trust your gut. Internally, as a person in a crowd or a mob that is extremely violent. So, the compassion requires enormous amount of patience. I want to address the innocence. For me, the compassion has to do with innocence. But maybe I'm off, so maybe please guide me properly to the lot of people don't know the right and the wrong that you speak about today. I see it here in this country, I see it in many countries, and yet there is such a love of humanity.
너무 다들 다 도로스 나가들 다 뭐스나 다들 단단 영화체저다 앞으로 도전했어야지 아 되게 전에 되게 다 뭐부터 소거했어 뭐라는 데는 말아 챔버 있을 때 말아 그랬던 통송 대상들 선체로 들으러 때때 기라데 록다운 때 제에서 상도도 통도 그래서 왔다 갔다 했는데 나가다 또 거야 되다 이제 나가다 저절로 미스에서 말았어 얘기를 하셔야죠.
Yeah. Right.
I just need to have the support for this internal guru food, and I think the two important people from the spiritual healing would be the guru is the spiritual food within, and the mother is the one who gives you the birth, no matter which is a prostitute or a president. So the principality of the physical food by the mother, and the internal guru that you offered us the gift that we can meet those ones, this Bodhisattva, and I don't know the name yet, the Buddha, but for me, so Dalai Lama is Guru, Buddha. Yes? Mm-hmm. Guru Buddha. So if I walk in the street and I'm seeing all these people around me that are stealing, like yesterday, people came to my home and they want to steal all my chairs. And so I happened to be just walking by, so I said, no, I'm sorry, it's not, I like the chair, I sit here for meditation, please leave the chair kindly. So I said to myself how the Dalai Lama would manifest this energy of compassion for people who want to steal. They were stealing just like this, so it's okay. So it doesn't matter to me, I'm not attached to material things, so I'm not, I care less. But at the same time, there is a desire for compassion from the inner guru. Buddha, guru, is kindness. Guru is kindness. Right?
Yeah.
Spiritual food.
That's
That's true.
What do we say?
I was just saying what she said, it's true.
Like which one? Which part?
Buddha is kindness, spiritual food.
Oh,
Just
spiritual
like you
food.
said.
Yeah. It's good.
저 뭐라서는 더 다들 저년이 되다. 그래서 계속 뭐라나 민구마 보내서. 안에 구마 보내서 또 구마 보내서 저라도 장마 기르셔서 국제에 나셔야죠. 아디 그래서 공자가 편자고도 스테디 샤르시가 있어. 가셨다면 저다 라마스타게도 저기 대민님들은 삼로 가렸다 그래서 데컬러 가렸어 그랬어.
내려보래야.
내가 민구마 보이거는 서로들이 갈라 그랬어. 나는 삼로 어디서 걸어다니 삼로 가렸다 그랬어. 그것도 그만 고치 그래. 가르쳐 그랬어. 뭐라 하면 다 잡으면 됐어. 잘라서.
먹고 싶어. 먹으려고.
네. 그만 고치 주셔서. 말해.
제가 내가 그래야 제일 좋아. 선생도 어때?
나는 와서 나는 남배초에서는 다 상계 람랍셔서는 랍션 냠배체는 다 랍션 다지나 가르쳐 그랬어.
다 사제 랍자 나지 지나 아니 그건 이제 제가 그랬어요.
되고 그랬어.
아니 다 제가 그랬어. 아니나.
네. 제 돈을 들어.
지금 제가 자 주문에 세남에 지금 제가 선택을 했다 제가 그랬어요. 아주 소소 시나리오 들으면 또 쭉 해도
네. 그러나 저 상무 독자 당만 하더라. 이제 다 걸어 잘라 보거든.
근데 그렇게 도래라서 나 그때 야구를 그랬어요. 근데 그 말에
So, okay, so I think it depends on depends on individuals. Like when people come and take things from you, how do you behave? I mean, if possible, of course, the best way is if you are like high level of practitioner, then you can expect from that person to say, okay, just take it, whatever you want, just take it. You will say like that, but of course it depends. You can't say, oh, you all have to say like that. You can't say that. We don't know what level of practitioner he is or she is, so for him it might be difficult to say that. So if we say you have to say that, then it will become like a forcing, for that person to say. But if possible, yes. Say, oh, you say, oh, this person needs the things, so maybe he needs more than me. So let me help him by letting him take all these things that he needs. I'm not attached to these things and so forth. If you can think like that, that would be the best.
if you have extra, but I love you that you have not attached to things. It's good. Okay.
When the Dalai Lama first moved to India, there were many, many poor people, so he had his attendants throw coins out every day to all the poor people. And then the merchants saw what he was doing, and so they came, and they didn't need the money as the poor people did. So he had to stop throwing out the money. So he didn't just keep giving it to the merchants. He didn't want them taking it, so.
This is correct. He knows what's the right way, what's the wrong way. Therefore he stopped.
So again, also when you give, to somebody, then you have to give to the right person. If you give to someone who has plenty, then there's no point giving to that person.
Okay? Then, are we finished with conscious?
No.
Okay.
Okay, the last question. What is the criteria or measure of having generated the realization of guru devotion in one's mind?
Okay? Who would like to answer? Any volunteers? Okay, good.
When you have certainty that the guru is a Buddha based on logic and scripture?
가서.
자랑했다, 상계받다, 가서 농다리 벌었다는 라마드 상계를 하셨으니까 가두다 가서 예번이야는 한테도 되네. 그래서 신인들도 또 오게 그랬어.
Oh, good. She's very good, yeah. She's tried, she's tried a lot. Very good, yeah. 얘네들 와, 하는 라마다 산전 나왔다고. 아니, 가르쳐. 가지. 라마를 사진하지 대화를 넘겨와야 아니 시도 또 계속 배정을 해봤어.
Yes, so yeah, whenever you generate, a thought towards Guru, that he is a Buddha or she is a Buddha, that time, when you see the Buddha and the Guru as the same, and that's when you, or when you have an equal amount of faith, towards the Guru as you will have towards Buddha, and that's when you have generated Guru devotion, the realization of Guru devotion.
Good, she studied very good. She gave 2 answers, they both right. Good.
Could I ask a quick question, Geshe Ngawang, about that? Is, for an example, I'll take an example of emptiness. A lot of times we conceptually understand what emptiness is, but we don't realize it. So when we're talking about this last question, realizing when you realize Guru devotion, if you look at your Guru as a Buddha, that doesn't necessarily mean that you realize Guru devotion, right? You know what I mean? There's a difference between conceptually understanding something and then realization of something. So it's more in depth, right? It's more.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
That's Lama Sangye, but it report and Lama Sangye Reshalan, then the Hansana, the Pejit in Sundus. Hansana or report and the rest of the level, she does talk to you Ras. Then I was a code Dembo, code Dembo to the Tomba rest and half of what they code the Tomba Topola, and the half of them Topasimaras. Then I should tell Lama Sangares and Lungari, but it's something that Nakorangita or Dangone, the Lama Sangareshala, the Sambakia was something, and she said to the top of your Kiosimaras. Till it is things savage go.
You should have never saw. You should have put the Jarvis on. They'll help us. Not get it up on drawing the Sanchez, they'll help on Mendoza.
So yeah, of course, that is understanding that Guru is the Buddha. Guru is Buddha because all the scripture says that, or because it makes sense logically. And so you say, oh yeah, Guru is Buddha. That way, of course, you're just like understanding. But through that, and you keep thinking, yes, Guru is Buddha, yes, Guru is Buddha, Guru is Buddha, Guru is Buddha. And you keep on thinking like that, or meditating like that, and then every time, when you see Guru, you say, oh, he's a Buddha, he's Buddha. When you have that feeling from your heart, and that's when you have generated the realization. So understanding and the realization is really different, like you said, yeah.
Thank you.
Otherwise, we say, where's Buddha? We never saw Buddha.
Right.
Buddha is a elephant. Where's Tara? So, manso da kanji tunjogu, tunjiga chowa teni, and manso pento chigiri. That's the sanji killing or take.
So there are many logical reasons to prove that Guru is a Buddha because, when we say like Buddha always helps, Tara always help us, but how does he help? And he doesn't come in his actual form to help. How he help? He comes by coming in the form of a Guru. So therefore, Guru must be a Buddha, Guru must be Tara.
산재기 안에 사마들을 주네. 아니 펜토체들이 다 요지들이 였어.
And so there are also stories like where Buddha imitated as material things, right, like a bridge, and so forth, to benefit other sentient beings.
근데 다른 것도 그냥 사마다 맞아서 된다는 거예요. 간제 샘때네 어떤 데는 로사들이 자자자자 산다로 찍어놓어서 어떤 산지가 라비를 배전을 라비 다 쓰는 거서 넣고 지금 말하고 좀 말하고.
And so yeah, of course, you have to keep on thinking, meditating that Guru is Buddha, Guru is Buddha. First you understand, Guru is Buddha through the scripture or logical reasonings, and then after that you keep on thinking. Then whenever you think that Guru, you think of him or her as a Buddha, and that's when you have generated the realization. That's the measure.
I just have a kind of talking about what you were talking about earlier. Sometimes in situations where we have to act, like if somebody's causing harm, for me, for example, if I were to use or for anybody trying to use force to maybe stop that person, or in situations where we have to be assertive to stop somebody from causing harm, there's the potential that we become angry while we're being assertive and while we're trying to use force. So I'm wondering what would be less negative, to allow somebody to cause harm but not get angry because we don't engage in stopping them so we don't become angry, or to attempt to stop them or to use force in some way to solve the problem but potentially become angry during it.
그럼 미치가 지금 너무 얘기해보처럼 안 너무 저기 됐어서 일단 너무 땡겨 믿으라는 까가도 또 코너상 코너라더라 코너. 믿을 때도 자식을 때 코너 땡 거라. 다 코너에서 나다. 다 코너 때네 코 까나 야가 있는기 다 코너 때는 까나 쳐야 뭐다 코너 너무 땡는 거 쥐어줬어. 근데 상은 뒤야 봐야겠어. 기다 신나 답시 된다 해놨어.
다 이제 소야수다 이제 잡으러 용어 영어도 전에 다들 책에서 근데 지금 너무 제가 답시는 다 답시 땅으로 그래 그런 거 당시 아니 지금
너 당셨어.
내가 딱 주야마다 소소 답시는 뭐 같이 소소 지금 공부는 막 듣어서 봐줘 너 솔직히 나왔다 때 두자 멈춰라. 근데 고소도 공부도 소소 듣어서 나 봐줘야 배도나요. 그 솔직히 늘어졌어. 제월에도.
So, I mean, again, it depends, right? So, which level you are, or how much you can control. Of course, the best way is to have compassion towards both person, the person who's causing harm, and also the person who's, of course, the person who's receiving the harm. And then out of compassion, then you can try to stop that person. And that, poor person who must have created bad karma to receive that harm. And then there's also a poor person, by causing harm to others, he's creating a cause to receive harm in the future for himself. And then with that thought, I said, I should not let them create more causes for them to suffer in the future. With that thought, then you can try to stop by that. And you don't have to be angry. The anger is one reason to stop it, but then compassion can be another reason, to stop it. And you can think of that, but that's the best way. But it depends, whether you are able to do that or not. For beings like ourselves who are doing the anger very easily, it becomes very easy for us to become angry. But then again, even if you become angry at that time, but if you're able to cause, able to stop the person from causing harm, then maybe it's, that the anger is not that bad at that time. So at least you're helping the person, to stop causing harm to others, in that way. And it's not the best way, but a little better maybe.
지금 소체를 치려나? 아니 소소 공부 때문에 가지면 소도 효도하나? 그냥 뭐 정말 뭐.
And so, like, if somebody's trying to kill something, and it's just, hey, don't do that. But if you shout at a person, angry, and the person stops doing that, like if your kid is doing something bad, and then you shout at the kid, and then stop the kid from doing bad. So even though maybe you're angry, it's just, how can you do that? Maybe you become angry and then shout at the kid, but then that helps the kid from doing bad things. It helps in some ways. But if you can stop, without shouting, without scolding, without showing anger, that's the best, but we're not at that level, to be able to do that. So at that level, we can only do that, and then do that.
So it would be worse to not act and then not become angry, just let that, like it would be worse to not do anything but yet not get angry than it would be to actually try and do something even though we might become angry.
들었다. 맞아버려도 진짜 그런 때는 사는 제발은 그랬어.
쟤네 약을 봐. 그 제대로나 이나 대체다 마시고 좀 많이가 제거했어.
Yeah, so even if you become angry, but it's you're doing good thing, so therefore I think it's okay better to do that than not to say, it doesn't matter, let him die or let him be killed or let him kill and so forth. That's I think would be more.
내가 그랬잖아. 제 산삼도 제가 만나고 제게 좀 줄어랬어.
So yeah, it is more important. It's important, to do the right thing, and of course, it depends again on many level, but so at that condition, situation, I think it would be good to stop the person.
Thank you, Geshe.
Okay, now we stop. Have a good day.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thanksgiving mandala on page 39.